Well, what's the crack, everybody? How you getting on? You're all very welcome to Buckshot with myself, Tom O'Mahony. That's spelled O'Mahony. Yeah, been getting a lot of messages from foreigners over the week. Fair play to you. As a result, no doubt, as a result of the last Those Conspiracy Guy podcast, one or two people ask, how do I pronounce your name? Because Gordo says it so quickly at the beginning. So yeah, there you are. If you're new, welcome on board. O'Mahony is how you say it. The mang of the lamb and the honey of the bee. Somebody said that to me once. It was probably an old person from behind a tree. I don't know what else to tell you, lads. That's how you say it. Some people just refuse and can't wrap their head around it. But sure, look at it. More power to you. What's the crack? Episode 162. Yeah, by Jesus. With the old Ramblebot out during the week. Not a nice reaction. You know, not a lot of new people on board. Shout out to, oh Jesus Christ, let me pop this open again. I had it fucking open, and now I don't fucking have it open. Let me just get it. Because we have a couple of new patrons. I just want to say hello, and thanks very much. And fair play to you. So yeah, the Patreon page is there. This video, as we speak now, there's the video of this is going out live to, going out live? What the fuck am I talking about, going out live? It's recorded 2 days ago, Tom. You fucking clown. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. It's going out in the next couple of minutes because right now it is Thursday the 5th of November 2020. As you will normally hear this if you're a regular muggle, you'll get this Friday morning in your ear pipes. Early Friday morning, you know. But you'll have ads. You'll have ads and you won't get to see the video. That's what you don't have to deal with if you're a Patreon and you do contribute to the show to as small as 3 squids to get on board. I think that's the minimum that they allow. A couple of new people on board. Whereas the fucking thing, Patreon, it's a good old setup, Patreon, but by Jesus Christ, they're all over the shop sometimes. Like yesterday, they were all over the fucking map, and sometimes trying to load things and stuff. But Seamus, good man, new man Seamus on board. Fair fucking play to you. And yeah, God bless the lottie. That's it. And a few people have bought merch as well. I don't know what's gone on with the merch in the last couple of weeks. Maybe people are buying Christmas presents. Well, do you know, there's no better way of doing it than a big fucking yoke with my face on it. The cut is next to nothing, but 'tis class that you're supporting the podcast in whatever way you go forward. If you want to put my fucking head on your body or on a cup, or you can get face masks now, lads. Do you know what I mean? We're all wearing them. I haven't brought myself around to wearing one just yet. There would be a weirdness in that, wouldn't there? I think we talked about this before. The oddity of my angry face on my angry face walking around fucking the supermarket. Because let's be honest, that's the only place we're going these days. You know? I know. That's the fucking housework over with, lads. If you're new, hit subscribe. And thanks very much for the very nice messages on all social platforms. Everybody was very, very polite. I didn't realise I was that gas. What a bollocks. It was good crack doing that podcast. It's always good crack doing friends podcasts like the Boys from Monster Fuzz and something like that. You know, people who are in tune and they know what they want from you. They don't want a fucking expert view. It's always weird when you do like, you know, radio interviews or you do like TV things and something. They go, So we heard, and they want you to be like dead straight. You're going, what the fuck did you bring me on for? You wouldn't bring a fucking plaster in to wear your plugs, would you? You brought a comedian in to be a fucking court jester, to act the bollocks. And that's what the boys do. And that's what makes it lots and lots of fun. That podcast, man, I haven't listened to it all the way through, that one with Those Conspiracy Guys. But that went about 7 hours. And it's down to about 5 hours of a podcast. And my brain towards the end of it, I don't know what kind of stuff. I'm interested to get close to the end to see what kind of gobbledygook I was talking. Because your brain is pouring out your ears. And Gordo could turn around and start another one straight after it. You know, he's just made it tougher stuff for when it comes to that. But it was good fucking crack. So go have a listen if you haven't. And fair play, a load of nice people on board chatting about fucking last week's podcast. Good on you. I'm not going to get into much in the way of chit chat, even though I fucking could right now. I'm going to get out of your way because there's a Ramble Pod next week for you. We'll talk scutter. If you do, make sure I want to see screen grabs of, if you're watching this on the old telly box at home or on the laptop or wherever the fuck you're watching, get a screen grab. Tag me on Instagram is probably the best one where I can repost it. You know, Tom O'Mahony Comedy will find me pretty much anywhere. So tag me on it, you know. And when you do get the merch, because I need to know what that shit is, I need to see you wearing it. Again, tag me in it. It'll be all gravy, baby. You can tag the podcast, which is Buckshot Podcast, on. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? I've made it simple, not for ye so much, but more so for me, because Tommy needs some simple fucking things. That's it. Now, today, we Laughter in the Air was on. We talked anyway a couple of months ago, myself and Terry, and we were on a kind of a live podcast thing, a gang of us, myself, himself, who else was on? Maxwell was on there. Joe Caulfield was on there. There was a bunch of us. It was kind of rudderless. We didn't know what we were fucking talking about, and we went around the houses, and it was just kind of, there was no, it was like, here's a bunch of comedians, fucking have crack, because you're not in the same room. It was early doors, first lockdown. We didn't know what we were doing, and Terry actually pointed out that I kept on, I kept on walking away. I was just fucking opening a beer and stuff. It was just Maxwell was talking about fucking fridges and shit like that. So I was like, oh, grand. I'm not needed at the moment. So, but we had met before that as well in Galway and stuff. And he was on Laughter in the Air the other night, last Saturday night. Friday night, it was repeated. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's up on the RT player. Give it a gander. You won't be, his bit is just watching a comic perform like that, weirding out some of the audience members and stuff, because they just don't know how to deal with stuff that isn't like Mrs. Brown's Bites. And he's doing the bells. You want them, but you can't have them. We discussed the bells and all the rest. This was thoroughly enjoyable. Could have gone on for way longer, because, I say it all the time, but it's the truth of it. Like, once, I don't think he wanted to head away either. We had powerful fucking crack. Please sit back and enjoy the great and powerful Terry Alderton. No way. You're 50.
Yeah.
Are you?
50 years old.
Fuck, man, you're fresh. You're fresh.
Showbiz, baby, and it's showbiz. Keeps you young. Yeah.
Yeah, if we had some fucking showbiz, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
Mate, isn't it bad?
Ooh. Oh, Jesus.
You're back locked up, aren't you, you lot?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird It's a weird lockdown. It's like, okay, we're shutting the pubs, but kind of everybody else is okay. It's nothing like the first one where it was, end of days shit. Like, but it's, they made kind of a big deal of it. But as it turns out, it's not. They just shut down all the bars and theaters.
Well, it's not good for us.
No. It was looking like we were going to get Galway back again. It was looking like it was going to happen, and then like a lockdown kicked in.
I know. I spoke to Kevin a few times, and he thought he was going to be up and running. I'm just going to make it a bit higher. Hold on. He thought he was going to be up and running, but as you say, it's gone tits up again. And trying to do comedy in cars and all that nonsense. What's that all about?
Oh, did you do one of those? Did you?
No.
No.
I did a couple of online shows, and what I did is I, from the get-go, I saw people just doing it like you are now and like I am, and I was like, I'm not interested in you like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've got green screens and lighting, and I made loads of mad films, and I got my son to cue all these mad films in. So I'll be doing stuff, and I'd be sort of getting Donald Trump to suck my hand and shit, and I'd say this is my mum gardening, and it was a woman getting buggered by a dog. So, that's what I did.
That's all you can do. Yeah, I did a couple of the early doors. I was asked, and I was like, all right, go on then. And after about 3 of them, I went, no, you're fine. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No. So you need them there. I did a few outdoor ones. You need people. For me, I need them there, man. I need to. But the other thing for me as well is I like to grab people, and I like to.
Yeah.
I like to put my, dick in their face and just be outrageous, and I can't get near them. Yeah, I can't camp it up.
Yes, there's nothing Zoom can do for your tactile kind of fun campness. No, there's nothing.
No.
I was able to do a couple of gigs, during when it eased back to like level 2 or whatever. I was able to do a couple of gigs, and the last one I did was in Galway in the Roisin Dove. And it was literally lockdown was coming at 12 o'clock that night. So, like legally I should have been in the car at 10 o'clock. And Joe Caulfield was on. She was doing a Zoom bit in the middle, but her internet shit the bed. So we're like, Tom, can you go a bit longer? I said, longer? I want to stay here all fucking night. I ended up doing over an hour. And literally, I want to lick all of your faces. I know we shouldn't. And if we don't tell the police, can we all lick each other's faces, please?
Brilliant.
Oh, it was this most bittersweet. I ended up doing it well over an hour. It was just the most bittersweet sadness. It was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It is the most amazing gig, that, isn't it? I mean, you can just go, oh, that stuff I've written, that can all just be thrown away. I'm just going to go and yarn and have fun, and it's like a little poetry place. Everyone just sits there. You're like that far away from little clay pipes, aren't you?
That's exactly what it was like. Like material went out the window, and I just started talking about my dog, and everybody was on board. They were like, "Yeah, go on," because they were in the same boat as me. They were like, "Go on, tell us more from the outside world."
Yeah. It's the best. I love it. I love the Roadshow. It's one of my favorite gigs in the whole wide world.
Yeah, there's a coziness, isn't there, to go away?
He's got it right. It's exactly that. Kevin's got it right, and there's something about Galway as well. Because I always say to people when they go, "Oh, we're going to go," well, not now, but when they go, "I'm going to go to Ireland for their stag do or hen do," and we're going to go to Dublin, of course. And I go, "You're going to the wrong place, man. You've got to go to Galway. Galway's the best place. It's just the best place."
Yeah, it was on TV again, the TV show that we did Laughter in the Air. And I didn't get to see you that day, so it was a real treat because I was literally on first because I had to gun it back to the other side of the country to do a one-man play that I was doing. So I got to see nobody, and when I was watching,
wow!
And I went, and I said it to my wife had never seen you before. I says, "Wait, you see Terry Alderton," because I know she loves the most obscure, crazy stuff you can do. And she went, "Fuck! Why didn't I just go and stay?"
Oh, that's lovely.
There was a moment that only comedians can truly love. There was a moment that was like these farmer and son. There was this, that bit where you love it. Yeah. There was like a father and son. They looked like total farmers, like beef farmers or something. You're like, show him the bells. He won't run, and the two of them just.
Give me there's the bells. Yeah, the bells. They're somewhere. Oh, you've just reminded me. They're upstairs. I've dropped them behind a radiator, and I'm in the middle of. We're going to move soon. That was why I nearly couldn't talk to you, because I had to do something. But you just reminded me. I've got to get the bells out. I've got to get the bells out. I've got them behind the radiator.
Just to let the listeners know, if you haven't seen Laughter in the Air, go watch it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This isn't a euphemism that Terry's talking about, that he's left his bed. I forgot me bells.
But the thing that came about, I was doing a gig in Edinburgh in when would it have been? It would have been about 99. No, it wouldn't have been 99. What am I talking about? My ass. It would have been 2009. Yeah, 2009. I found these little bells on stage on a wooden stick, like some sort of like pagan thing,
right?
And
So Edinburgh, that they would have been on the stage.
Someone had left them, and I just picked them up, went up to someone in the front row and went, "You want them, but you can't have them." So dingled them in their face. And then I lost them, and I had them for ages. I lost them, and then a punter, the ones I've got that you see on the show, the orange plastic with the bells, someone made them for me.
No.
Yeah, he said, "Look, I know you lost them, so I made you some new ones. And I've still got those ones. You want them, but you can't have them."
What I love is it makes no sense at all.
No sense. The best bit, of course, is when people get annoyed and go, "I'm sorry," or apologise to me and say, "I'm sorry, I don't really get what you do." And I go, "There's nothing to get, man. What are you trying? That's your biggest problem. It's just anarchy. It's just nonsense. Come up on the ride. It's just a ride of fun. There's nothing to get, man."
I love the notion that, like, deep thinking, like, theatre students would sit at the back of a Terry Alderton show and go, "Oh God," and the depth and all the rest, and you're like, No. I also probably about the same year as that. I think 2009 in Edinburgh again. I had these guys. Well, it was the start of social media. So when would that have been? When it was really becoming something? 4 and 5.
These guys kept, I would imagine, tweeting me and saying, "We're coming again tonight on mushrooms again." So They would come and watch my show on mushrooms, and I thought, Christ, I'd love to see me on mushrooms. I'll be me on mushrooms. He's like,
fucking strap in and put on your nappy. Terry's driving the train.
Yeah. I'm going to crash it as well. I'm the best at crashing them. Can't beat me when it comes to crashing trains and car wrecks.
Have you done a few car wrecks?
Well, I always think if it's going down, you know, as a comedian, there comes a point where you can either go, look, this isn't working, and try and carry on, which I do, or if it starts getting a bit icky, then I think, oh well, let's make this interesting. You know, if it's not good, they're not laughing at it. Let's just make it interesting. You know, because I can't remember who famously said it's better to really, you know, ruin it and make a complete mess of it than just do an all right. Because no one remembers all right, but they remember. God, do you remember the time we went and saw that ball bloke? He nearly killed himself on stage. So I think wreck it, man. Properly wreck it. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but if it's going down, then
take it into the mountain. I
have been in positions before where, because of the nature of the beast of what I do, and say there's quite a newbie audience to it. Or when I was starting to do it, if you don't know, you know, I do all the turning around stuff for people listening and talk to myself and have all these other sort of characters that live in within me and come out, all my insecurities. And what you have to remember is, I should remember, is people can be quite perplexed watching it, or just like they've never seen anything like it and they're just looking at you as if to go, you know, it looks like they're not enjoying themselves, but what actually is happening, they're sitting there going, what is going on here? You know, but me being the sad, stuck up my own arse, egotistical, flipping, what's the word? You know, who's the guy who looked into the water and thought he was beautiful? What's the word? Oh man.
Not Oedipus. Yes, I know. It's.
Narcissist.
Narcissist. That's him. Yeah.
This is what this age does to you.
Right. It's okay. It's all right. I'm not. Yeah, I'm a bit behind.
Narcissist. Yeah. Right. So, what basically would happen was I'd go, no, they're not enjoying this. Good night. Walk off. You know, and people would go, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I mean, famously was once there was a festival which is up near Suffolk Way in the UK called Latitude.
Yeah.
And I famously did it there, and everyone was like, What are you doing? Why are you not on anymore? I go, no, they don't want to know. I told the audience, I said, I'm not for you. And they were going, you're smashing the gig, man. What are you doing? Everyone's into it. But then I got on citalopram, you know, which is, for those that don't know, I do a joke. I don't think 20 milligrams is enough. Which is citalopram is an antidepressant. So I got on that and read a few things, so I don't walk off anymore.
And there you have it, kids.
There you have it. Get yourself some happy pills.
What was it? Were you not recognizing that you were absolutely fucking just smashing it, or was it just like you're picking out that one fucker's face where you're
that
going,
one guy? I did what we all do as comics. We've all done it, Tom. You've done it. I've done it hundreds of times. You know, and there was a valid lesson once. I remember doing a gig in right near the church where Pepys wrote his diaries, which is just near Tower Bridge in the east end of London. If anyone's ever been there, they know where that is. But and I was doing a show in a bar there, and I did exactly that. There was the lady under the light, you know, looking at me with hate, you know, complete. She wanted me to just go through the floor or something and die.
Yeah.
But I was having a good show. And I just kept saying to myself, block her out. You don't need her. You know. And then, of course, after the gig, she came up to me, didn't she? And she said, I just want to say, and I thought, well, here we go. Yeah, what do you want to say? She goes, that has got to be the most out there thing I've ever seen. She said, I was absolutely on every word. And I went, I could see you, and I thought you were hating me. She went, no. I wasn't hating it at all. She said I was absolutely enthralled. She said I was completely transfixed by the whole thing. So, you see, lessons.
Yes, some people, especially your stuff, because you could, as you said, it'll take the brain a while to catch up if you're expecting somebody to come up and go, so I'm single, if that's what you're expecting. But all of a sudden Terry walks on, he's like, here, check out my shoes.
Exactly. So that was another thing where I said to myself, you've got to get your head out of your ass, basically. And then you have to have that bravery about thinking about that, if you're going to die, you're going to die. And you're going to have to really go for this. Heads now, just crash the train. But there was a time where I'm going, no, this isn't working. Arrogant wanker, arrogant prick, Suddenly realise, it took me years to realise that we're conduits. We're conduits to other people's entertainment. I thought it was all about me. If I'm going shit, then fuck you.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah. And it's what's worrying is like some people, they go a full career, they're 20 years at it or whatever, and they still haven't grasped that. They're going, no, fuck you all, Yeah. And so this back end of my career now, and I realised that actually the other day, because I've just hit that big 50, as I was saying, and you think that would be a thing where you go, well, you're coming to the end of your career now. You're on the back legs of your career. And I suddenly thought, actually, you know what? In the business we live in, it's a brilliant business because actually there isn't coming to the end of a career. You're always at the beginning of a new job and coming to the end of a new job. Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are, young or old. We're blessed with this thing where it's just starting the new and carrying on to the next bit. So we're very lucky.
They say you're supposed to keep on getting better. You know what I mean? So, like, if you think of yourself 5 years ago, you're going, fuck it, hell. I wouldn't have done that.
I'm miles better than I was 5 years ago, and I'm 100 times better than I was 10 years ago. But interestingly, I think the old me that was just really naff, terribly naff, was brilliant. Though he was brilliant. Can't knock him. Smashed gigs, man. Smashed them. Awful stuff about being on planes and whatever. But hey, it's like we're in a plane. He did terrible stuff, but killed it though. Can't take it away from him. Look at me putting myself in a kind of weird third person of the past.
I like it. With somebody else coming in on the podcast, it's Terry from the past. Great.
All right, how you doing? Lovely. All right, how you doing? All right, lovely.
So you went. At what point then did you pull up the handbrake and turn hard left and go, I'm not, and go from telling jokey jokes to let's go wild?
I went away from it, and then my lovely wife said to me, I know she can hear me. My beautiful wife. Can you hear that?
You crafty bastard.
I'm not silly. I'm not as deaf as she thinks I am either. I was really down, depressed, boring, old cliche comedy shit, and Dee said, you need to go back and start doing stand-up. And I said, well, if I do that, because at that time, I'd had this rise to some sort of like glory over in the UK. I was doing lots of TV and terrible telly, but I was, I'd had this quite a big rise to success. And she said, you need to go back doing stand-up, because I'd gone down the other side. They'd hit the Twin Towers and everything had gone a bit wonky. And I said to her, if I go back doing stand-up comedy, everyone's going to say, oh, look who's back. And she went, do you think everyone's in the dressing rooms talking about you? Right. And that's another side you find about being, suffering with mental illness and depression, is that it can be quite self-indulgent as well. There's a bit of like, save me. Well, there's a lot of that, in fact.
Yeah.
So I went back out on the road. As it were, and started doing some comedy. And I happened upon an article from the wonderful Steve Bennett at Chortle.
Oh, lovely.
Those that don't know.
Yeah, lovely.
Us comics know. To be fair to him now I've got to know him a bit better, and from the reviews and stuff, I sometimes actually tend to agree with him a little bit now. But at the time, he wrote such a scathing review of me. But it wasn't just about my act. It was so personal, about how, I'm the kind of act that Chortle are proud to hate and all this. And I just remember being really down and, saying to myself, right, I'll give it another go and get back on the horse, as it were. And then reading this, and I remember it was all steamed up, the windows all steamed up in the house, and I was just absolutely floored. And there was a point I thought, yeah, get up, Rocky, get up and fight, Rocky. So combination of a few other things where I thought to myself, I need to start doing what I truly want to be doing. So, cut to Dubai, about 2005. I still hadn't done many gigs. 2005, I went out there with the great Ben Norris, a comedian, and Ben and I were doing this gig, and I just did this joke, right? I just did this joke about call to prayer. I just said, look, 5 times a day, do you really think God's up there thinking, look, can you just stop the singing for a minute? You know what I mean? It's not bad that I've got, as the world spins, I've got the Christians in Cornwall ringing bells because it's Sunday. Kind of. I thought, it's all fair game. Well, it was not fair game. It was really quite terrifying, actually. The threats and all this and this sort of police and religious police, and I was like, I thought it was all jokes, but not good.
Wait, religious police?
Yeah, man, they're in the gig. I really got into trouble. I mean, like, really into trouble. Like, seriously, like, squeaky bum, like, am I going to get me flipping bells cut off here, So, I had to write this apology, which I did. And then the next night, I got up and I just said, well, there's no point of being here. Comedians being in this part of this beautiful world because you're not allowed to say what you want to say. So what a point. Why are you expats even living here? Doing my material, and then started turning around. And the thing was, the original gag for the voices, which people don't know, if you don't know what I do 2 voices, which are my inner thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And I used to do a routine which basically was about, I was in New York, right? And the guy behind the bar didn't understand what I was saying, couldn't understand my accent, right? And I said to him, can I have a medium white wine? He said, we only do the one size. Now, he did say that, but I then made that into a joke. Yeah, that's the kind of shit comedy I was doing, right? But then what I would do is I would turn around and the voice, these 2 voices would go, you must go back, showing the bulldog spirit. He can't talk to you like that, right? And then I'd go back and go, hold on a second, mate, right? That's all it was. But on this trip to Dubai, I didn't stop there. I then just let it all go and then turn around like nothing was happened. It had happened. And then a little bit later on, I did a bit more. And then I turned around again going, don't know why we're here. He hates doing stand-up. He hates it. Hates comedy. Why is he here? Don't know. Anyway, here's a joke about something else. So anyway, I was just on the downer. And then Ben Norris said, what is that you're doing with those voices? And I said, I know it was very unprofessional. And he went, no. You've got to keep doing that. He said, but just don't be so bitter with it. So then in 2006, I went to the Edinburgh Festival. I made these crazy films. I took a kind of half old me act and this new talking to myself, breaking it all down act, and stood in the room in 2006. Didn't do very well, but by the end of that run, I worked out how to wield these characters. But it also spun off the back that in 2004, I did a play called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead, and that gave me a real confidence. You don't have to say anything. And then I happened also to watch, I watched a film called Searching for Eric with Eric Cantona.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a brilliant bit in that where he says, you have to be prepared to make 100 mistakes for that one moment. And that's what I was saying about realizing you've got to keep going until you die, right? So that was another thing. And then I listened to the audio version. I went to this is where it all came together and went to myself, right, I am doing the right thing. Oh, I found Andy Kaufman as well. I went, right, okay, I am definitely doing the right thing. And then I listened on the way to Wisbech near Cambridge on the east coast of the UK. I listened to Born Standing Up the whole way there and the whole way back, Steve Martin's autobiography. And that completely condensed and what's the word? Nullified. What's the word when galvanized?
Yes. Yeah.
That was the point. I went, yes. So it all came together at one point. And then I didn't look back after that. That was the whole thing. So from Steve Bennett going, this is horrific, to me going, right, you fuckers. Yeah. And then all this along, and now I do what I do, and I'm really pleased, that all happened, because whatever sort of success, I'd like to be a lot bigger than I ever became or have become, but I am the guy with the shoes, and I am the guy that turns around. So I did invent something. There is something you could never take away from me. So in 200 years' time,
you brought the bells on, man. Jesus Christ!
I brought the bells on, and then all the random. So for me, that's where it's at for me. I have to sit back and go, well, look, in 200 years' time, if someone goes, "Oh, I'm going to do this thing," I'll start trying to turn around and talk to myself. Someone will go, "That was done 200 years ago, man."
Yeah. Oh, you're doing the Terry, are you? Oh, I see, right.
Doing the Terry. Look at me, won't even be like that by then. We'll all just be in the chair, not even moving, just blinking our eyes at each other.
Yeah, just exchanging
we're
credits
the Matrix,
back and forth.
Man.
Oh,
Going
Jesus
into the
Christ. Who knows what's going to pop back out of this? But you, because I knew you were into football because we did we did a Zoom weird kind of thing where Andrew Maxwell and Joe Caulfield and a bunch of us were all on this thing for Galway, and I don't know what they thought it was
that was the first thing that we did for the Roshan, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was this lockdown shit where we were all on Zoom and we didn't know what was going on. And
I said to Kevin, if you ever do a thing like this again, don't get 9 comedians together and don't give them any production, because your comics, not giving comics anything, we're terrible.
Yeah,
give us something to do and then we'll all be hilarious around it. But don't just go, "I'll just talk," because we'll just go, "Oh yeah, do you remember that gig?" It's a shame because in the dressing room, as you know, when everyone's having the crack and spinning the yarns, some great stories come out.
Oh yeah,
it didn't work like that. It didn't work like that.
We should have probably picked a subject and jumped on it, and then from there, you know what I mean? At 100%. Least, because then we tried to outdo each other a bit, and then there's a bit of volleying back and forth.
I think you disappeared a couple of times, didn't you? I kept looking at your thing, and you'd gone.
Yeah, I was going to the fridge because it just seemed to ramble on, and all of a sudden Maxwell was asking about fucking fridges and stuff, and I was popping over to the fridge every so often just to get a beer because it's like, I'm not sure. I have no idea what's going on here. I'm still in the throes of depression that I can't actually talk to audiences, and now they put us all in this room together. It's like, what kind of sick experiment is this shit?
And we're not even in a room.
Yeah, we're not. We can't even rub each other's faces. It was, there was some crew, but and you, is that what crest is that on your top? Because I'm asking.
Southend United.
You played for Southend United, didn't you?
I did. Once managed by the great Ronnie Whelan, that team was.
Yes.
And we used to sing Ronnie Whelan's Barmy Army. And I got very friendly with Ronnie, actually. Me and Ronnie were good mates for a while when he was there.
Really?
Good times. Yeah, he used to like taking me golf because I'm tragic at golf, and he couldn't. I don't reckon he's ever had as much of a laugh as he had when he used to go golfing with me, because he used to I can hear him now, just this wheezy laugh non-stop. Just hilarious how bad I was. We really want to go. We're going. I can't do his voice properly because he had this kind of husky Scouse Irish.
Yeah.
He had this weird like Scouse Irish voice. Hard to do. And he used to go, "Are you golfing?" And I'll be going, "Man, you're just gonna. You don't want me to go." And he'd go, "Oh, come on, please come." Because he just wanted to laugh at me.
How long did you play for Southend then?
I was there from a young boy. I was about 14 when I started, and then I must have left around about just at the end of the first year apprenticeship. So probably about 18 I left. When they had YTS, I did 1 year of that. And I like to say I had an injury or something, but I was just terrible. Hey, I'm doing a podcast here. You need to turn it off, man. You with your TikTok. So the imaginary child I have.
You gonna come up?
I will come up in a minute. I'm just talking to Tom, yeah.
How long?
Oh, I don't know.
Tell we'll be up about as long as it takes to drink a cup of tea.
We're FIFA in, you see. Look, she's in the background now, look.
I love interacting with the Aldertons. I love it.
Yeah, I know. This would be the show, not that. We are FIFAing. What happens is he plays and we sit and build teams together. But
right.
Me being the old fart that I am, I think that we're going to put these teams together like in a professional nature. But then he goes, "No, it's not fast enough. They're not fast enough. They're not fast enough." We go, "Well, yeah, but it's not about speed all the time, is it? So we have these big heated things about, the techniques. And in the end, I'm just going, this is just an arcade game. This isn't even like real football.
Yeah.
It's an arcade game. And then there are moments I go, oh, no, this is like real football. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the two managers are writing down the selections on the back of a fag box.
I'm there going, this is, it's great. But yeah. There's a bit of a con with young people. Anyone listening to this got children playing. They're a bit naughty with that, with the loot box thing, getting them to gamble basically with real money to see if they're going to open Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And we had a problem with that because someone there ran up a massive bill to the tune of nearly 900 quid.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And I rang PlayStation, and they gave it all back to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they gave it all back. So they knew that, you know, I said to them, you can't be doing this. This is all wrong. And then they gave me all the money back.
Fuck.
All of it. Hashtag PlayStation.
Good on him. Good on him.
Get your dough back.
Whenever I think, because I have to avoid computer games because addiction issues when it comes to, like, I just cannot. I can't. I'll end up having put on a nappy, having to sit there and just fucking, like, I can't. But
I'm with you on that. I like watching him play. The thing is now, it's a whole hub for them, isn't it? The kids are. It's a hub.
Yeah, they are.
And there's there's an argument because people always, our oldies always go, oh, you know, they spend too much time in front of that screen. Well, I go, well, first, he's not down the park drinking, flipping cider, right, with his mates. And secondly, if you had that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't be going out on your bike and playing football. What, Grand Theft Auto? Oh, yeah, you know, we used to go over and play in the fields and ride our bikes. Yeah, because you didn't have a machine gun and a 300-mile-an-hour car that flies. What do you think they're doing? I know what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
With an Atari 2600, you know, shooting for a cactus or let's play Space Invaders again or Pac-Man. What? Of course we went out. There's only so many times you can go, meh, 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 isn't there?
I'll never for one of the most probably the best gaming story of all time, and it came as a result of getting paid out. I worked briefly with the late great Rick Mail on a show here.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got on great because he was everything you imagine he was. He was a fucking he was just wild, and everybody was attracted to him, men, women, everybody, and young people who were working in restaurants didn't know who he was, but for some reason, because he walked in like Captain Flashheart everywhere, you know. He just stood there like he was a big man, you know. You could see him like, and his crotch was kind of all out to the world, kind of going, ha ha. You know? But I'll never forget. I says, did you? Because he was talking about the easy work that he came across, you know, and stuff. And I went, did you get much easy work? He goes, yeah, but some stuff was fun. And the Jack and Ori said, but the easiest money I ever made was working for Nintendo, doing the Nintendo ads, the Game Boy ads.
All right.
They were paying him $250,000 an ad. Yeah. Back then. Mega bucks. And he raked it in. He said, Tom, I swear to God, they'd send me a script and it was just so loose. And they go, Rick, can you just put this together in your own style? He goes, it was just one look, go, fine, turn it on. Let's do it. Because they just didn't take it seriously. And I didn't compute the money that was coming in. He did a bunch of these ads. And he ended up buying this farmhouse. He moved out down the country, bought a farmhouse off this farmer. He stopped off. They used to only holiday in England. He stopped off to take a piss on the side of the road. And this farmer stuck his head over this hedge. He was like, all right. He went, all right. How much do houses go around here? He goes, oh, you have one if you want to buy it. He went, all right. Let's have a look. That's all over there. How much? He went, £1 million. He went, 5, that's like 4 ads. Yeah, fine. He went, really? He goes, fucking fine. Zipped his fly up, sat back in. He goes, we're fucking moving to the country. And he renamed it Nintendo Towers because
he did.
It was that easy of an exchange. Couple of simple ads. Now I live in the country. Beautiful. I was like, well done, Nintendo.
Well, that's for me. That's the salvation. Is I do voiceovers, so that is a salvation for me. Yeah, you know, they pay really well, and you don't know that it's me. That's the good thing. What? So you can whore yourself without whoring yourself.
Of course, yeah, because they're not asking for Terry's voice either. You know what I mean?
No.
Because you know you'll hear ads sometime, and you'll know who the comic is, or you go, right, yeah.
No,
you know,
yeah.
And have you done many in recent times? You were doing one this week. Were you doing work this week?
Yeah, I did some for Fridge Raiders. I don't know if you had that there, Fridge Raiders. They're like a chicken thing.
Yes, yeah.
I in the UK, I do some ads here. I used to do the Irish ones, but they actually got an Irish voice in the end because a certain company wanted an Irish voice to do it. So I used to do them there all the time. And I shouldn't really give this away, but I will. So fun to do. It's all inside this Happy Meal. I was that guy.
Right.
But the last sort of 3 years, I think you've had 4 years, maybe you got an Irish fella doing it now.
He's probably doing exactly the same voice you were doing.
He is, but he's got the same script as me. Furby Boom is now at McDonald's and looking for friends. Furby Boom is now at McDonald's and looking for friends, isn't he? To be sure.
And that's the only thing that would hang you out to dry is the "to be sure," because I go, wait, 1 second.
Of course
Nobody
I put that at the end.
Nobody in
Of course I
Ireland
put
says
that.
"to be sure" at all.
Of course I put that.
It's some sort of-
That's the brilliant thing in it when they did all those EastEnders specials all those years ago. Do you remember? They had the white horse and everything. It was like, wow, man. It's just sometimes over here, it's quite unbelievable that. Not so much now, of course. I think they've caught up to Ireland a bit, but sometimes you just go, it's not like that there, man. It's it isn't like that. You're living in a world that doesn't exist. Sometimes the way people, not in a detrimental way. No one ever really speaks badly of you guys, but sometimes you look at them and go, "You're living in the 1970s. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Ireland's nothing like that. It's
strange."
Like that.
But yeah, listen, if you think that's bad, try being Irish and go to America. Wow. You guys, wow, you have electricity. You're like, oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nothing. Oh, like I was in Florida in the mid 2000s I was down there for a bit. I had cousins living there, and my cousin's husband brought me to kind of where he's from, and it's like the Dukes of Hazzard. We're talking dirt roads, fucking, and they're man, the fact that he married outside of his, gene pool was amazing. But I went in, and people were like, "Are you Scottish?" And for a finish, you just have to go, "Yeah." There is no point me explaining geography to you.
We get a lot of. I don't know about all English people, but I get. Are you Australian? And you keep seeing meat all the time. That's the one. I'll tell you where we come together though. Scots, Brits, Welsh, Irish, and the northern bit of Ireland there. Is when I once was I was doing this TV ad years ago for Yahoo, which was a search engine. That's how I put it. That's how long ago it was. I'm saying it like that because I didn't know what it was. Of course, I know now. So they did these series of ads for the Super Bowl, right? And one was a guy fishing, and he's getting tiny fish, and he went to his internet search engine and went fishing, and he's got huge fish. And my one was, which I filmed out in where did we film it? Somewhere in LA. It come to me. Anyway, we filmed me with a kind of rap over. They're going, "Do you know this guy Resby Nesbitt?" And I'm going, "Yeah, of course I do." So there's me with this rap over, and then I go to the search engine and I put in hair, and the next thing you see me is this with this great big, massive, huge afro, and he goes, "Do you are who ya?" Anyway, cut a really boring story short. During the filming, we happened around this guy Kelly's house, right? It was like this runner, but he was quite a cool dude. And he said, like, "I'm going to have a little rap party around mine." So everyone went makeup and everyone in at Kelly's. And then they got this American weed out, right? So,
oh, Jesus. Yeah.
So they're all smoking this weed, and I'm being really British, right? And the weed's coming around, and I mean, don't do it anymore. That's probably why I'm loopy, but it's coming around. And instead of just doing like they're doing, having a little toke and then pass it on, I'm sitting there being typically us, British, Irish. We sit there going, having a good old puff on it,
smoking
and having a chat, right?
Yeah,
right. And they go, "No, Terry, you got to take it. You have a token, you pass it on, right? You have a token, you pass it on." I went, "Okay." Next thing I know, I'm off my tits. Right? All I can do is remember standing in the middle of this room and hearing this conversation about Demi Moore, and me standing there going, "Fucking, I'm off my bollocks," right? And all these American people looking at me thinking, "Oh God, look, he's off his what? I'm off my bollocks," and they're all just going, "You're off your what?" I go, "Bollocks, I'm off my bollocks," right? So this Irish kid comes to me and goes, "Terry, come on, come with me." He goes, and we get in the kitchen. I say, "Mate," he's going, "It's strong, isn't it? It's really strong." And I said, "It's ridiculous." I said, "I'm broken here." And he went, "Why don't we have a cup of tea?" Right? And I thought, brilliant. That's it. Ireland and England come together.
Tea.
We all come together with tea, right? And he's gone, "I'll make you a cup of tea. It'd be grand," right? So I'm going, "Thank you." Anyway, the guy who owns the house has obviously gone to Disney and bought, those comedy cup and saucers that are like massive, like enormous, like huge. And he turned around, he put it in front of me, and he went, "Oh, Terry, geez, you shrunk." And I went, and I was going, "Oh my God!" I'm picking up this massive teacup, going, "Oh shit! Oh man!" And he's grabbing me, he's going, "Oh Terry, Jesus, man!" He's got forgive my accent. Go, "Geez, Terry, fucking hell, man!" He goes, "Oh, I'm just fucking joking with you." He's cuddling me from behind, going, "Terry, it's just a big cup and saucer. It's just a big cup. Geez, Terry, you've shrunk." And I've gone, "Oh no!" You can see me picking this massive thing up, going, "Shit!"
When you're at your most vulnerable and you thought you were
But I
getting
just
tea.
say, where the best bit is, you see, that's where we come together, the Irish and the UK there, because it's only us with one go. Let's have a cup of tea. I'll look after you
Yeah.
because you're my man here. You know what I mean? We're the closest to what we both got. And then he fucking stitches me up, telling me I've shrunk. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh my God! What a God! I would have been loved to watch. Yeah, the last time I smoked weed, it was in Amsterdam, and like an idiot, smoked it like it was a cigarette. All right, we're doing well, lads. I was like, Tom, I would move that on if I were you.
Yep.
An hour later, I'm walking around the place thinking, my head is going to blow up. I'd lost it completely.
No.
But you have sandwiched your stand-up career with acting, haven't you? Because you've threaded it through too.
There was no plan there. I always wanted to do some acting. I had a friend who was an actor, and he kept telling me that I wasn't an actor, and I kept thinking, "Oh well, I can't be as bad as you are." So turns out, actually, no, but yeah, just by chance, I happened to be in a couple of things, and then I ended up in London's Burning, which I, without talking to you like you're completely, I'm sure you had over there.
Yeah.
And then various other bits and pieces like Casualty and all that, or What You Do, The Bill and all that terrible stuff. And then I ended up, obviously, for a while in EastEnders back there, which was flipping 7 years ago.
Jesus.
When it's 7 years, I've been out of it 6 years. So I went in that for a little while, and I did a little bit the other day on something called Unforgotten, which I didn't know what it was, to be honest with you. And then after I did it, I worked with the...
I do like that. It's called
I was like, I don't know what it is.
I heard once, but I don't. I've forgotten.
But anyway, I met the director, of course, because I worked with him, and he's gorgeous, Andy, and what a wonderful set he had. So I thought, I'm going to have to watch this now, which is on Netflix. Let me tell you, watch Unforgotten. It's flipping amazing.
Really?
With Nicola Walker. It's brilliant. The problem with Nicola Walker is she kind of ruins it a little bit because she's so good. You know what I mean? She doesn't act. She's one of those people that isn't acting. So, and pretty much it's a pretty damn good cast. But then you get some people who are acting, and you go, "Oh, you're acting, aren't you?" Because she isn't acting, man.
Right.
And who else was on there? Who was absolutely in the first season of it, you know? And I'm thinking, this old bloke in the wheelchair is really good. He's amazing. So Tom Courtenay,
of course,
so they've got amazing people. And I'm sitting there going, he's so good, this guy. And then I'm thinking, I've got to look up who it is, and it goes to Tom Courtenay because he's 80 odd now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, geez, what an actor.
When you watch somebody in the flesh, that was my first kind of big role. Was working. It was a ridiculous comedy where I played a very, very posh Dublin character. My name was Tarquin in it, so you don't, say no more. But when you're watching Mail, and he's just chatting away, as cool as fuck. He's okay, darling. Would you hold that for me for one moment, please? And he just walks on, and it's like somebody has just rolled a grenade across the room, and it just turned into human form. You're like, oh my Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my Jesus. Like,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
God.
When people are so used to it as well. Like, I remember I ever did one scene with Steve McFadden, who is Phil Mitchell.
Mm.
And I love Steve, right? He's Steve Mack, right? Steve Mack. Steve, you're right. As soon as we did this scene, I was going, shit, now.
Really?
Just the way he turned around and looked at me, and I was like thinking, oh man, if only this came across on screen like this, because I was actually going, oh, you are really quite scary as it goes. Yeah, just looked at me and went, yeah, what do you want? And I went, yeah.
He turned into Phil all of a sudden, like.
Ah! Yeah, it did turn into Phil, yeah. But it's funny being on that show, man. Fucking weird that is.
It
Weird.
must been. Are you originally from Southend then, or are you Essex?
I am. I'm a Southend boy. Yeah, I am really.
Well, I suppose
I am
Southend is
originally from
Essex,
Southend.
isn't it? It is in the
Yeah,
county
that's
of
right.
Essex.
Yeah. It's out on the coast there, right on the coast.
I once and
Yeah.
once only was there because Rich Wilson is down that neck of the woods too, isn't he?
Rich Wilson is out this way. Yeah, I think Mark Walker's out there now. Lee Evans was from there. Who else is from there? Russell Kane's out there.
All right, yeah.
Russell's from out there. Then there's quite a few people. Your man was born there in the same hospital as me. What's his name? Who's the brilliant pianist? What's his name? He's probably about 40 now. What's his name? The guy, brilliant sort of Michael Bublé, Frank Sinatra. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, don't get to this age, man. Honestly. Oh, what's his name? Jamie Cullen.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't have gotten there. On that, no.
Jamie Cullen is from Southend as well. There's
one-
quite a few people.
The one time I was in Southend, it was for the most obscure reasons, but it weirdly fitted in. I used to work with a company doing kind of corporate stuff, but they were big into, they did everything from all sorts of everything you could think of in the way of events, but they also owned a bunch of Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And every so often they used to ask me to take people out and show them how to drive it. And it'd be, it was just, but we had a limiter on it if we needed to. So we used to put the limiter on it. But I had to bring one time to Southend on the boat the whole way over. And man, that was a fun drive. It was a 430 Ferrari. And I remember driving in Southend, and it was about 10 of them already, where I just turned the street, there was like 10 Ferraris. It was like, oh, this is a place where people come with lots of money.
Well, that would have been Lee, really. That would have been more Lee, because Southend is like typically like everyone. There's bits of Southend that you would be going. But where I am now, at the moment, I live in Chigwell, which is birds of a feather country.
Yes,
and Towie, of course. This area is full of that. I mean,
is it
full of it? Yeah, I'm moving away from here though. I've had enough of it. My son's 13, and it's too entitled around here. They just think that everyone around here thinks they're the bollocks. It's all bollocks and bling. So I'm getting out of here. I'm going out to the sticks. If I had my way, I'd go to Galway.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
I seriously would go to Galway.
I mean, you can't go far wrong. You really can't.
If I ever get to the heights of earning quite a lot of money and I can buy a few properties abroad, I'm going to buy somewhere in Galway. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to do it.
We're just on
I'm allowed to.
We're in kind of a similar scenario where we are just outside Dublin or whatever, and we've had kind of enough. We are in the countryside technically, but we're kind of thinking, I mean, the way things are going, I don't really need to be in this close proximity. Much more value for your money if you go to the sticks. But yeah, I mean, I would be frightened of my child growing up and having whitened teeth and Botox in his face and whatnot, which is what's happening.
It's just too plastic. I've totally had enough of it, and it's got worse. Like 20 years ago, it was quite laughable, really.
Yeah,
you could laugh at it. It was funny, the Essex thing. But now it's like, the problem with it. If I describe it as, if you said to someone in this area, what is wealth? It would be purely financial. It wouldn't be love. Yeah. It wouldn't be education. It wouldn't be well read. It would just be purely pound notes. That's what it would be. And I don't particularly care for that. It's not really what I want to be frequenting. Yeah. And I want him to be able to dip in and dip out of it if he wants to.
Because a mate that I have, and he's from Essex originally, and like, we probably worked together. It was before I started comedy. It was maybe early 2000s. So this guy's like a digger driver, but he's from Essex. He had a pub and everything, but he was the most Essex English bloke. Like you could have dropped him in as Phil Mitchell's cousin. You know what I mean? But I think one of the coolest, nicest fellas. But he could see it going that way. Yeah. And he slowly but surely just started moving further into the countryside. And he moved like beautiful countryside around there, but he just went, I can't have the boys fucking grown up and my daughter grown up with that shit where everybody's just, and he was just annoying him. Even their accents are changing and it's fucking annoying me. And he had a proper Essex accent,
a proper geezer.
Yeah, he was hard as nails.
They don't say something, they say sunning. So they don't say Birmingham, they say Birmingham. Or I'm going to Nottingham. There's no T's there. I'm going to Nottingham, burning them.
I haven't got time for teas when you're as hard as nails. You haven't got time
Ain't got
for
time for teas. Ain't got time for tea, guys. You know what I'm saying? I love that when they go. I'll see you again. Yeah. Okay. You take care. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll take care. I'll see you again. Yeah. Well, you just said that. Yeah. I might do.
It's almost a threat in that. Yeah. I'm going to see you again. Yeah.
It's always that. Yeah.
Jesus.
That kind of. You be lucky. Yeah. You be lucky is my favourite. You be lucky. All right. Listen, don't get me wrong. Not everyone's idiots around here, but then, it's just it's a collective belief that's
it's not healthy, man. It's not healthy to be around that shit.
I've got a lot of friends at the moment, a little group chat, and they're doing this whole conspiracy thing about COVID, and I have my doubts about it as well. I'm not sure. There's something, there is something niggling me, But there was a whole thing they were getting into this, someone put a David Icke thing up, and I went, oh, here we go. Well, if you believe in what David Icke says, let's strap in. And their whole chat was about being enslaved as human beings, and I was like, mate, you're already enslaved, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We've all enslaved ourselves. We're a germ that's giving ourselves rules, And it's just funny, and it's just funny.
I was looking at a house for sale by a lake. It's a lake that divides five counties: Galway, Limerick, Clare, and it's a huge big lake. And I was looking at this cabin. I'm going, that'd be perfect. We just a cabin by the fucking lake. That is what the motorway is only 10 minutes away if you need to get to Galway or Dublin. So
you won't believe it. That's what I bought. But it's not by a lake. I've got a great big paddock.
Oh, beautiful.
We call it Southwark. We're like a new build sort of ranch thing. Made it sound a lot better than it really is, but it's still lovely.
Are you going to get some animals?
No, I've got 2 dogs. That's enough.
Bet you're going to get some chickens. Bet you.
No, we'll play football on there. That'll be enough. Well, I say play football.
Get some chickens, put some bells on them.
You want them, but you can't have them. These chickens. Yeah, so that's so funny you should say that. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out here.
Good on you.
I was gutted the other day. Do you have those terrible adverts over there where they go, I'm wearing a mask because I want to protect my friends. I'm washing my. Do you have them there as well?
Yeah.
And I was gonna do a thing that I was gonna do it and someone beat me to it.
Shit.
I go out because I fucking hate people. And I went, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was going to say, it's so obvious, but I want to do it. I'd wear a mask because I'm an ugly cunt. Oh, God.
There's a mate of mine who he has a very, very, very successful conspiracy podcast. And he's backed away from it really because he's like, well, no, wait till we collect all the info and then we'll talk about it. But he has Patreons right now who believe they need to know he is their Messiah. And he's like, no, just.
That's the problem, isn't it? What is the big conspiracy to it? That's my problem. That's where I kind of fall down. Albeit, right? Here's one for you. Have you seen the new Borat film?
No, not yet.
Right, you will do what I did. You'll watch it. You'll go, oh, it's funny. And you go, it's not quite as good as the last one. And then there's a bit where they do the dance, okay, which then I sort of went, that's too much, mate. Yeah, but I thought it was a bit misogynistic, and I went, that's too much. But I think it's a test. I think it's a test to see if you stick with it. And then by the end of the film, you just go, that is a piece of genius. Really? Because you want to talk about conspiracies, the way everything ties up. And you know how I always tie my act up. You know, at the end, you go, oh, that's what it was about. And I start pulling it all out and unraveling it. Well, it's like that, but on this film. And it's brilliant. Sasha's a clever man.
Well, this is the thing. I saw a few people complain about it, going, it's not. And I'm thinking, no, the guy's a genius. I guarantee you.
Some people are complaining about it because they want it to be Borat and normal, and they go, oh, it's not as good. No, if you look deep into it, you go, oh my God, that is something else.
Oh,
yeah. He's got it. He's clever man. He's clever. I remember years ago, Sasha used to do this gig in Swiss Cottage called The House, and he used to ring me up and he'd go, "Hi Terry, it's Sasha. Do you want to come to the house?" And I'll go, "Yeah, okay," knowing that I turn up with 2 or 3 other comedians. He would host it. And he was I've never seen anyone be so abysmal on stage as a comedian. That every time people would go, get off your shit, get the comics on, right? But to this day now, I truly believe, after all this time, I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
I think he did it on purpose. I think he just deliberately wanted to push people, to pushing them to go, get off your shit. I swear. There was something in it. I think there was something on a build to where he's got to, where he could prove that he could do what he wanted when he wanted to do it and not worry.
Well, he doesn't have the shame gene anyway that most people
No, and we always go out and go, it'd be brilliant, and go, I'm going to try and be my best and be brilliant as I can because I want someone to recognise and notice me. But, and then he'd come back on and go, get off. And he had no worry. No worry.
Wow, that takes a special type of person. That's built in.
And the next thing I knew, there was a thing called Metamotors here, which was run by Granada TV, and he was kind of a very straight host on it. All of a sudden, I'm thinking, what is he doing on here? There's this very straight kind of host, and then the next, he's doing Ali G in a spot that I was offered on the 11 o'clock show, which I stupidly turned down because I thought I was going to be the Mr. Saturday Night. So I was going no because I want to be on Saturday Night TV, being the new Barrymore, and of course, Patrick Kilty nipped in. Where is Patrick now? Where is Paddy now?
I don't know. I haven't seen hiding or hair of him in a long time. Don't know.
Do you know what? I did PK Tonight with him once, right? And did you get that down here, down the south? Did you get PK Tonight? Was it just a northern thing?
Northern, yeah.
They were counting down 2 minutes to the show starting live, and he then sang. I can't remember what it was, some mad Elvis song, ran around the audience. And the Elvis song finished perfectly to him hitting his mark going, good evening. And I sat there as a guest going, fucking, you're good, man. You're really good.
He literally
really good.
Wound him up into a storm.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic, Patrick.
Wow.
I'd love to know where he's gone. It's good, I'd love to see where he went to.
Maybe he just made tons of money and just went deaf, I guess.
Maybe. Did he marry Cat Deely or something?
Wasn't Kelly Brook? He was married to for a little bit. No.
I think it was Cat Deely.
Maybe you're right.
Anyway, I've got track of that.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know when you go? I shouldn't do this because I know what it'll do to me. But I keep on. If I watched Laughter in the Air, which I did last Friday or Saturday, and I knew it was going to do it, it was the bit where you keep on cutting back to. I don't see a point in appendix.
Yeah. It goes on, and I've got hundreds of them. I don't see the point in the point. Everything it just gets more silly.
It's the tune, and continues. My wife and I will be walking past each other, going, "I don't see," and now we're just going, "I don't see the point in those flip flops. I don't see the point."
Yeah.
Fuck them out, This.
Yeah. I know. And the thing is, when I come up with all these songs, I can't then get them out of my head either. So I'll spend days and nights rolling around in bed going, "Oh my god." So, a song about nothing. When I wrote the song about nothing, which I don't think I do on there, but this is a song about nothing.
Nothing.
It's a song about nothing, right? Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
When I wrote that, I could not get, and I've done myself now because that's stuck in my head now. But there's a line in it where he goes. So I start singing about something, which is nothing. So I go something like Japanese knotweed, single-use plastic. Or nothing at all. This is a song about nothing. But my point being is, every time I open anything in my house now from the supermarket, I go, single-use plastic, and that's it. Oh, nothing at all. I'm off again. So or I've got one about prostate. It's called Prostate, right? And it goes, it's happened again, but who will I blame? I'm standing here in darkness in my boxes again. And every night when I wake up to have a wee, I'll be standing there, think to myself, don't wake yourself up. And I go, oh, it's happened again. Oh, man.
Oh.
I can't get away from myself. So my wife moans what it's like to live with me. I have to live with her and me.
Oh, Jesus.
There's two of us. Although I love her to death. She's the greatest person in my life, but she's fucking loopy. We're all loopy. I've got 2 loopy dogs, one called Loco. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Please.
The name was in the clue was in the name, in all fairness.
They cost me 50 quid a month. She gets her hair done 100 quid a month. He has his hair done, my son, 13 quid a month. Me, look.
Yeah. Bit of Mr. Sheen, you're off to the races.
I'm waiting for the advert What a great ad that would be, wouldn't it? That's the ad I want.
Yeah, just polishing your head.
But you couldn't be seen to be spraying that on your head, you see. So it's a shame. But I would love to do a Mr. Sheen ad.
Or turtle wax. That's another good one. Just get an actual buffer. Like,
yeah, mop it. Get it mopped. Yeah, love that.
I've taken up enough of your time, Terry. I know you've got FIFA to go back to and all the rest. And just
I've got FIFA.
Remember, the bells are behind the rat upstairs.
I won't forget the bells. And I'll bring them next time. If I ever get to see you ever again, Tom, which I so do, I'm going to have them in my back pocket, man.
You want them.
You want them, but you can't have them, can you, Tom? And you go, I don't really want them, no. I don't want them. Here she is. Come here. Here she is. Oh, you can't see her anyway because it's a podcast. So I don't know why I'm showing you. But I'll show you, Tom. This is Loco. Look, lunatic.
Brilliant.
Rat.
What kind of... Oh, my God, that dog's amazing. What kind of dog is it?
She's what they call a poo jack or a jackapoo. So it's all poo breeds now, isn't it? So she's a Jack Russell and a poodle.
That is a class-looking dog. My God.
Actually, she's a lovely dog.
I want a pair of slippers that look like her.
Yes!
Terry.
Send them. What a great bit of merch that would be.
Yeah. Terry Alderton
Tom.
and all your alter egos.
Love you, man. Thanks for having me.
No worries, dude. Thanks so much. Stay
Speak
well.
to you soon.
And we will see each other soon. I know we will. We'll get...
I hope so.
We'll wear masks all over our bodies and we can roll all over each other. It'll be fine.
That's it. We're writhing in masks. I love it. Cheers, Tom.
Have a good one, dude. Cheers.
Love you, man.
And my thanks again to Terry. Fair play. So do go have a look at him anywhere. Just YouTube Terry. You will enjoy it. Knowing what you know now, if you haven't before, if you haven't looked at this stuff before, give it a go. He's fucking class. That is the podcast, gang. You know what to do. Hit subscribe if it's your first time. If you don't follow me on any of the social platforms, go ahead. Look for Buckshot Podcast or look for Tom O'Mahony Comedy. Follow me. Tag me in any of that shit where you're watching it, where you're wearing it, where you're fucking listening to it, where you've rolled it up and put it inside a bun cake and handed it to your mammy. Whatever you're doing with the podcast, let me know. Tag me on Instagram. It's the best place to catch me. All the other places, yeah, I'm kind of there, but really Instagram is the handiest fucking place to catch it. If you want to join the Patreon, you'll get to watch the full video of that. You'll get to hear it with no fucking ads. It's your choice. It helps out the podcast. There's also merch. You know the crack. Failing that, if you're listening on the usual platforms that allow you to, leave a nice review. Fucking do. If you've gotten to the end of it, it means you enjoyed it. That's the way podcasts work. Leave it a nice little review. 5 stars. Little kiss around the cheek there for the old podcast. And maybe a nice little note underneath. That'd be nice, yeah. But like I always say, failing all that, sure, if you don't feel like doing any of that, would you do me a favour? Roll it up in a piece of old chipped newspaper. Walk up to your mammies with a mask on. Stick it through the letterbox and say, Mammy, I have a deep fried podcast for you called Buckshot from Tom O'Mahony. He'll look after you. Goodbye, Mammy. See you next month. That'd be mighty. So, for now, kids, go on away. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Good night, thanks. God bless, and I'll talk to you next week.